Tampa. Today, NFC South rivals collide. It's the New Orleans Saints and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Thanks for having us in, Mike Tirico. Greg Olson set to get this one started. And off we go from Tampa. And he'll work this one past the 25 to right about the 28-yard line. So the Buccaneers come out, and Baker Mayfield leads them out. He has found a spot to be very comfortable. The former #1 overall pick out of Oklahoma, who turned 30 in the offseason, and has done a nice job with the Buccaneers the last few years.
I mean, you talk about a career resurgence. In his time in Tampa Bay, I mean, think back, Mike. Former #1 overall pick, Heisman Trophy, and then the Cleveland Browns, the team that drafted him, they pretty much said, you know what, we're going to move on without you. And it took Baker Mayfield a little time to find where that next home that believed in him. And since he landed in Tampa Bay, he has taken the opportunity and run with it. Back-to-back Pro Bowl appearances, 4,500 yards, 41 touchdowns. If he continues to cut back on the interceptions, he's going to continue to take this Buccaneers team into the playoffs, because that's really all he's ever done.
They run with the Oregon man. It's Bucky Irving. And this will be a Bucs first down as good running gets him to about the 44.
A gain of 9 yards. And a first down.
It just seems like every time this guy touches the ball, he makes something happen. And not all of his runs are always going to be positive. He's kind of one of those guys that's going to get a 0, a 1, a 2. But it's the home run threat. It's the big plays that really tip the scales in your favor. And you can generate those big explosive plays on the ground. Man, it makes such a big difference for the offense.
A gain there of 24 yards. Good for a Buccaneers first down.
Big hole up the middle. The interior of this offensive line did a great job clearing some space. The back saw it quick, and he hit it. And next thing you know, he was in the secondary for a big pickup.
Mayfield to throw it here on first down. This pass is caught by Cade Otton. He's going to be marked down at the 12-yard line. 20 yards on that pass play. It's a first down for Tampa Bay.
The defender has to do a better job here, Mike, of getting depth. He wants to elevate that ball to give his secondary defender a chance to make a play. He gets too much width, not enough depth, and a quarterback like this is going.
And he's in! Bucky Irving! Touchdown, Tampa. And that is the way to start a game. Not just score, but, Greg, score quickly. A nice opening drive for the first 6 points.
Well, it seems like the hour spent on that opening game script was time well spent. I mean, to take the ball right down the field that quickly, right out of the gates, that's a pretty good opening drive and an early 6 points.
On is Chase McLaughlin for the extra point. The kick is good. And the Buccaneers will take a 7-0 lead.
Saints nothing.
Here's McLaughlin now. After the score, he'll kick this one away. Now return coming from the 7. He'll be brought down right around the 25-yard line. The Saints led out by the rookie, Tyler Shuck. Interesting story. Off injured in college, the 3rd quarterback drafted out of Louisville with pick 40. Greg, he is now the QB for New Orleans.
Here's a guy, Mike, that has a really interesting college football journey. I mean, he is as well seasoned, I would say, as possible. Mike, think about this. He played 7 different seasons of football at the college level. So he's got ideal size, he's got strength, he's got all the physical stuff. A little bit of a pocket passer, but he has the arm and a little of the mobility that you need to make plays and play quarterback at this level.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
From the 29, here's 2nd down and 6. They'll go play action here with Chuck. The blitz overwhelms the offensive line, and down he goes.
The best thing they did here, Mike, is keep their rush lane integrity. What that means is you have to rush the quarterback as a unit. Keep him in the pocket. Keep him on that X. And when you do, man, he becomes a sitting duck for this pass rush.
Work to do following the sack. It is 3rd and long. In motion is Hill. On 3rd and long. Here's Shuck. A dive and a catch. Incredible.
And that's a nice grab for his first catch of the game, Mike. And he's someone that the play caller has told us he wants to get him early touches, get him a feel for the game. Nice job there making that happen.
On 4th down, Saints' new punter for this season, Ty Kroger, set to kick it. Cameron Johnson deep for Tampa Bay. The Buccaneers offense going to take over now for the 2nd time. They lead it here early 7-0 as they start with a 1st and 10. Baker gonna give it to Irving. And not much there. He's back to the original line. No gain on that.
You want to see linebackers play downhill, Mike, meaning there's not a lot of side-to-side pursuit. They're attacking the line of scrimmage, attacking the ball carrier. That's exactly what we saw out of this guy here. He's able to make the stop at the line of scrimmage and keep it to no gain.
On 2nd down, Baker. That pass complete to the veteran, Sterling Shepard.
The key to good route running, Mike, is deceiving the man covering you into thinking you're doing one thing, and then you change it and do the other. And in this case, he had the defender thinking this was a vertical downfield route, and then next thing you know, he gets to his break point, he breaks in, and that ball's put right on the money for a big pickup.
Got a man! It's Ibuka, complete! And they will bring him down on the other side of midfield. They get 25 on that connection. Good for a Buccaneers 1st down.
1st and 10.
These 3rd down conversions are just so important, Mike. Everybody stresses we want to possess the ball, give our offense as much opportunity to end as many drives as we can, scoring points. So if you want to stay on the field, you better be good on 3rd down.
Brought down at the 48-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd and 8. Out of the shotgun, Mayfield. That'll be intercepted. It is picked off by the rookie safety. And the Saints are going to take over here up near the
doesn't seem like a ton of yards on top of that pick, but that was really well done. I mean, it's just going to make life so much easier now as the offense takes the field trying to capitalize off of that turnover.
Look at the three tight ends here on 1st and 10. They'll start this one on the ground with Kamara. Trying to find some place to go, but nothing developing. Tackled behind the line. It's a loss of 1. 1 quarter in the books. The Bucs have the early lead. We'll have more from Tampa after this. It's the Saints with the football here as quarter 2 begins. They've got it 2nd down and 11. Olave is the motion man. Chuck to throw on 2nd down. In trouble, and he's going to be taken down. Vita Vea in there for a loss of 5 on the sack, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, as they face this possible 3 and out following that 2nd down sack, now if you're the quarterback, you've got to be thinking, get the ball out of my hand, find a matchup I like downfield, and try to push this ball past the sticks and keep this drive alive.
So, backed up after the sack, and now it's 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Shuck. That'll be caught. It's Alvin Kamara. And he'll be stopped short of a 1st down, and that will necessitate a call to the punt team. It's 4th down.
Even though they gave up that last completion, Mike, that's a really good drive there for this defense. I mean, from the beginning, on those early downs, keeping them from staying ahead of the chains, put them in a tough 3rd down situation, and now it brings up 4th down, and looks like they're going to get off the field.
The Bucs offense ready to take over once more. They lead it here in the 2nd quarter, 7-0, as they begin with a 1st and 10. On play action, Mayfield. Short pass taken in by the tight end. And no chance to turn and go. That one good for just a couple.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 23-yard line.
From the 23, here's 2nd down and 7. From the gun, it's Mayfield. This one is caught by Shepard. And he'll be brought down up around the 38-yard line. A pickup of 15 in the air. It's a 1st down for Tampa Bay.
And that was just a simple read that time. He knew his guy was going to come open in the middle of the field based on the look they gave. All he had to do was let the play develop and then deliver a strike to pick up the 1st down.
They'll run it. It's Irving. And he'll get nothing here. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all.
You could just see the frustration on the running back's face as he's getting helped up off the ground. Like, there was just nowhere to go from the moment he was handed the ball. Give credit to the defense. Great job.
They'll try again here. 2nd and 10. On the bootleg, it's Mayfield. Open man downfield. That's Godwin. 23 yards on that pass play. Good for a Buccaneers 1st down.
First and 10.
The thing that jumps out to me the most, Mike, is just how often the quarterback is able to throw the ball to his first read in the progression. So hats off to the play caller. Him and the quarterback seeing the game through the exact same set of eyes, and there is a lot of room to operate.
They go sideline, and he stays in bounds. Got the feet down in time. It's a first down.
Buccaneers.
Number 14 with a pickup of 14.
First and 10
And a first down.
25-yard line.
It's just so impressive to see how good these guys are, especially the veterans, Mike. They've been out there a long time, a lot of experience. They know exactly where they are on the sideline. Not only to secure this catch, but to be able to toe tap and drag that second foot. That's a big-time play by a big-time receiver. You know, it's easy to sit up here and say, hey, just keep running the ball. They've been efficient, just kind of wear down this defense by 1,000 different paper cuts. But the problem is, it's only contingent upon your ability to keep the score down. So if you want to continue to run the ball this often, you're going to have to look to their defense to play really well.
Now they are in business inside the 15-yard line. The screen works for 10 yards and a first down.
First and 10 at the 13.
2 minutes remain. First half in a 7-0 game. Greg and I back from Tampa after a timeout. Space getting tight here, down to the 13-yard line. They work first and 10. This one is pulled in. Are the feet in bounds? Yes! BUCCS. Touchdown, Buccaneers.
What separates the really good quarterbacks from everybody else in the National Football League, Mike, is not only ability to process, but the ability to process quickly under pressure. And I think that's exactly the case here. He's able to go through his progression, find his target in the end zone, and then deliver that ball on time, accurately, and the result is the touchdown.
McLaughlin, good on the extra point. And the Buccaneers move out on top, 14-0.
Saints nothing.
Here's McLaughlin now. After the score, he'll pick this one away. This is fielded inside the 5. He'll get this past the 20 before he's brought down shy of the 25-yard line. The Saints offense getting set to get back to work. They're staring at a 2-touchdown deficit, 14-0. The score as the offense tries to regroup and get going with first and 10. To the air is shot. Here's a screen coming for Kamara. And that one's not fooling anyone. They were on that screen from the start. And a loss of yards on the play.
Well, the best screen plays, of course, you want the offensive lineman out in front of the running back. They act as his escort, his lead blockers. But what you can't afford is for the defenders to be in the backfield and get to the running back, because those offensive linemen, they can't help him at all.
He'll step up and run this. They get 22 yards there. It's good for a Saints first down. So now the Saints will use the first of their 3 timeouts. And they'll have a chance to talk things over after picking up that first down. Operating out of the gun, this is Shuck. They're going to work this down inside the 45. That's a gain of 16. This offense is humming. A first down.
And now you can see they're really getting in rhythm in this 2-minute drive. Now, after that last completion, Mike, they cross midfield, Now the mindset goes to, all right, we got to come away with some points. They've got a quarterback who's in complete control, and they got to see if they can finish this thing off.
He takes off.
Well, let's give credit here to the coverage unit, Mike. There was nowhere to go with the ball for that quarterback. He had no choice but to just tuck it down himself, and he's able only to pick up a short gain.
They'll come up on a 2nd down and 8. Now Shuck. The pass rush gets home, and he goes down. Saints going to use their 2nd timeout, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining until halftime. It is 3rd and long. Looking to throw. Here is Shuck. And this one complete on the sideline. Good footwork to stay in bounds, but he is just shy of the 1st down. And that brings up 4th down.
The best guys I've been around, Mike, they have a sense where they can see the ball, but they can feel the sideline. And that's kind of an innate sense that these guys have that allows them to concentrate and secure the catch and ensuring that both feet remain in bounds.
That's going to be out of bounds. Well judged and spotted right at the 10-yard line. The Buccaneers offense going to get it one final time in this 1st half. We'll see how they want to attack things here, backed up deep in their own end. It's 1st and 10. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And this will be a Bucs 1st down as the tackle is made at the 23-yard line.
13 yards on the play. That's good for a 1st down.
So, halftime straight ahead. And we send it over to Scott Hansen, who has the EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Mike, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to the downtown Orlando studios. Scott Hansen and crew with you for a short and sweet halftime, as this game's had a little bit of everything to it. We'll find out which side can establish some tempo in the 3rd quarter as we're ready to kick off the 2nd half. Back out to our commentary team, Mike Tirico and Greg Olson.
Scott, thank you back here on EA Sports as we count down to kickoff of this 2nd half. Third quarter set to commence. And we're back underway here on EA Sports. This one taken at the 7. Ooh. Good return here. Brings it up to the 33-yard line. The Saints offense looking to get back to work as we begin this 3rd quarter. They need to start making some inroads here. Down 2 scores as they begin this drive with 1st down. Chuck. Throwing left side there, but it is incomplete. He was trying to get it to Alvin Kamara that time. And it'll bring up 2nd down.
He just stays on his primary read just a little bit too long. I think if he gets that ball to his check down a little bit quicker, not only is the ball completed, but I think there's some room to run. So, again, certain quarterbacks are better than others. The ability to process and eliminate targets quickly to move on to the next, that's a skill that really just comes from experience. I think he knew in the back of his head, Mike, he had to get rid of this ball a little sooner than he would have liked. And with that pressure getting there in a hurry, it just ends up being a wasted down.
2 incompletions to start the drive, and it leads to 3rd down and 10. To throw is shot. And this is going to be incomplete. That is great work there, making things difficult defensively. It'll set up a 4th down.
And another wasted drive here, Mike, and they start to add up. And coming out of halftime, you would think that they would make some adjustments to try to get some points on the scoreboard, but so far, looks like much of the same.
And he couldn't get that one to check up. It'll keep bouncing into the end zone. It's a touchback. The Buccaneers offense and their running back Bucky Irving ready to hit the field again. The lead is a couple of touchdowns as this drive kicks off 1st and 10. They'll put one of the tight ends in motion. On the ground, it's Irving. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
Well, they tried to get the run game started here early on this drive, Mike, and they're just going to have to do a better job up front. There's really nowhere for this ball carrier to go. You never want to lose yards on 1st down, but that's exactly the case here.
2nd down throw from Mayfield. On pass, it's complete. It's Shepard. And they're going to mark him down right at the 30-yard line. Pickup of 11 yards on that one. It's a 1st down for Tampa Bay.
30-yard line.
To throw is Mayfield. They'll get about 4 here as he is taken down.
To number 7, Bucky Irving. A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5 at the 35-yard line.
Ball on the 35. Here comes a 2nd and 5. They'll run with Irving. And he'll wind his way to about the 38-yard line. Pete Werner there to make the tackle.
And after that short run, puts them a little bit closer to the 1st down marker. And they're going to need to create more running room on the ground if they plan on extending this drive.
Now a 3rd and 2. Baker to throw. And on 3rd down, that ball incomplete.
I think he predetermined that 3rd down throw, and even though the coverage was tight, he still tried to fit the ball in there anyway, and it ended up falling incomplete. I think if he goes through his progressions and has a little bit more trust in his protection, I think there's an easier throw to make out there.
Now out comes the New Orleans offense. They're ready to take over once again. They trail by 2 touchdowns, so the time is now. Got to get that rally going. It starts with 1st and 10. It's a give now to Kamara. And a nice run there. He'll get 8 to the 28-yard line.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 28-yard line.
We'll come to the line now on 2nd and 2. They'll go again here with Kamara. And it doesn't appear that he got to that 1st down marker. They'll only give him a yard, so it'll set up 3rd down.
And while that run wasn't anything really to write home about, what it allows them to do, Mike, is keep everything in the playbook at their disposal. 3rd and short, now it's up to these coaches to dial up their best short yardage play and extend this drive.
Oh, there's movement up front. That's going to make this third down a lot tougher.
Still third down.
It's third down, and here is Shuck. And that is incomplete.
Missed opportunities like these are a big reason why they find themselves down double digits here in the third quarter, Mike. Points on this possession could have gone a long way towards making this game competitive, but instead, poor execution, especially in the passing game, and it's another wasted drive.
To return is Johnson. And good coverage by the punt team. They stop him before he can get any return cranked up. Here's the Tampa Bay offense. They're going to take over once more. They're going to be looking to possibly push this to a 3-score advantage. Work to do on this drive. 1st and 10. Here's Irvin. And they'll mark him down just shy of the 40. 18 yards. What a great way to start the drive. It's a first down.
That's good for a first down. 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Well, a really nice start here to the drive. Early down success. Every offensive coordinator is trying to find ways. How do we pick up first downs without having to get to third down? We see it here. Big explosive run. Now the rest of the drive unfolds.
They'll go again here with Irvin. And it's a short pickup to about the 42. Pete Werner there to make the tackle.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 42-yard line.
They face 2nd down and 7. Mayfield. Now, screen set up for Irvin. And they get this one across midfield to the 47-yard line. That screen goes for 12, and that's a first down.
And this is what modern-day running back looks like in the NFL. They want to be able to activate these players in the passing game, no different than they do with the tight ends and the wide receivers. When you look out there and you have a mismatch, you have a linebacker or a safety on your running back, he's expected to win, and that's exactly what he did here.
That's caught left side by Otten. And they bring him down, but not until they get inside the 30-yard line. 19 more on that one, and another first down.
Just seems like every year, Mike, the tight end position just continues to grow within the passing game and establishes a bigger and bigger role. And listen, I know I'm biased, but if you want to have a good passing game, you better have a good tight end.
Off the play fake, it's Mayfield. And it'll be brought down as we tick towards the end of this third quarter. So we are through 3. Back with more after the break. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. From the 21, here's 2nd and 3. Irving now gets in to start the 4th. And that'll give him a first down. Tackle made after the pickup of 3.
And the offensive line does a really nice job winning this play at the point of attack. And once he got the ball, all he had to really do was just find a crease and hit it, and he's able to pick up the first down.
They're at the 17-yard line now for 1st and 10. That's thrown quickly, taken in by Godwin. And he's not going to get too far, tackled after a gain of just a yard.
Really well done here by the defense, Mike, executing this zone defense, and they've got to be able to pattern read. You're not just going to drop back to a spot and just play like a robot. Based on what the receivers do off the line, the defenders have different rules of where their zones move to. Well, they had that one dialed in right from the jump, and they were able to stop that play really before it got started.
That's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 5.
Been a good drive, but they need to convert here on 3rd and 5. To throw is Mayfield. And that is incomplete. Contact, but no flags. It's going to be 4th down.
And on that 3rd down, they thought an easy way to pick it up and get some positive yards would go to their quick game, but it didn't seem like the receiver and the quarterback were on the same page, and now brings up 4th down.
Field goal. A 29-yard attempt.
McLaughlin's kick is good. And the Bucs stake themselves to a 17-0 lead.
It's always a little bit of a letdown, Mike. You find yourself deep in the red zone, and you have to settle for a short field goal like that. In this case, he's able to put it through, and they get 3.
McLaughlin hit the field goal a moment ago, and now he's back to kick this away. This taken at the 5. Oh, yeah. We'll get this up past the 20. That's where they'll set up shop. The Saints offense ready to get back at it. They'll start it here with a 1st and 10. Throwing is shot. The pressure gets there, and down he goes back inside the 20-yard line.
Defense came out in a soft zone, and I think it caught the quarterback a little off guard. He was trying to attack them downfield. By the time he was able to get through his progression to his check down, he ran out of time, and that's all the pass rush needed to get into the backfield and bring him down.
After the loss of 3, it is 2nd and 13. He'll look to throw. And it's a reception for Taysom Hill. And he's going to get this to the 37-yard line. They get 18 on that one. 1st down, New Orleans.
1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
From the gun, it's shot. That one caught Devon Vele. And they will bring him down on the other side of midfield. Able to get loose after the catch for more yardage. That'll be a pickup of 21.
And these are the throws that when they evaluate young quarterbacks coming out of college, they want to see you be able to make. Everyone worries about how far you can throw the ball. And while that's certainly important, to be able to make the throws from sideline to sideline, especially in those intermediate zones, drive the ball through space. Because in this league, an open window is going to close in a hurry.
That's a gain of 11, and they'll move the chains with another 1st down.
1st down.
To the air again is shot. Going left side down the field, and it's complete. He's taken down just shy of the 10. That's his 2nd catch on the drive. This one is good for 20 yards.
It's a gain of 20. 1st down, Saints.
They can still get a 1st down at the 1. 1st and 10, they go from the 11. And he's going to go down yet again. He has been under fire all game long. Vita Vea. He gets in to drop him It's a loss of 8. So 2 minutes left to play in the second half. Greg and I back for the conclusion in a moment. Throwing on second down, Shuck. Left side into the hands of Olave. Well, they'll get some of the sack yardage back, but it's still going to leave them with third down.
Brings up 3rd and 8.
He'll drop to throw. And he's in. Taysom Hill. Touchdown, Saints.
Touchdown, New Orleans.
An extra point attempt to follow. He's got it. The Saints are back in this one. It's 17-7.
17. Saints 7.
This one not quite over, but down a couple of scores. We're going to get an onside kick.
Well, we knew, Mike, this was going to take a miracle. All they needed to do was recover this, score, recover another one, score again. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen, and this game's all but over.
Baker Mayfield and the Bucks ready to get back to work. And he has been masterful so far leading this offense, keeping the mistakes to a minimum, on point with his passes, generally one step ahead of the defense all game long. It's Otten in motion. On first down, here's Irving. And he'll be stacked up at the line of scrimmage. So now the Saints will use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining.
43-yard line.
Second and 10. Right back to Irving. And a nice run there as he surges forward. A gain of 8 and sets up third down. Saints going to use their second timeout. Talk things over before third down. And they got 8.
And a first down. First and 10 at the 26-yard line.
Victory very much in sight now as they'll take a knee. Second and 11. So a win here for the Buccaneers. They proved much the best in this one. get a solid performance in all three phases of the game and ride that to victory. So that'll just about do it for Greg Olson and our entire team. I'm Mike Tirico. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Buccaneers get the win, as we say so long from Tampa.